Start streaming, not recording. All right, look, we're only 2 minutes late.
Yeah,
We'll get it right one time.
One of these days we'll get it right. All right, guys. Today on the podcast we have trailers. 2022 is shaping up to be a big year for DCFU and other. What was our Star Wars? Yeah, there's a movie coming out next week.
Yeah.
What is it? Some little small indie thing.
Just a small itty bitty thing.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Woo! Hopefully you can see and or hear us, or one of those things. Okay. Welcome to the Grizzled Geek podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Kirsten.
I'm Doug.
And we're here with your weekly wrap-up of all your nerd news. It's a special Friday the 13th edition of the Grizzled Geek podcast. That's right. So we're going to be getting two shows for one tonight. So right now we're getting the Grizzled Geek, our episode 24 podcast. And then afterwards, some of us will be joining the Absolute Geek podcast for Crisis on Infinite podcast. So it'll be exciting. So be sure to check that out. We'll advertise that again later on as we get closer. For right now, we are actually, again, we got some new equipment that we're playing with, so we're not sure everything's working. So if it's not, just let us know. We will eventually find that and fix it. But, okay. Woo! Guys, so you've been out visiting family?
Yeah.
Enjoying the holidays? Get it out early?
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
Yeah, so then I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the year.
Nice. Awesome. And you were just out vacationing?
Yeah, it's a Knott's Berry Farm.
Knott's Berry Farm.
Nice.
They do the holidays so well. It's
Okay.
awesome out there.
Although he has a hot take. He's not a fan of their world-famous fried chicken.
Yeah, Mrs. Knott's chicken dinner restaurant is overrated.
Where is this located?
It's in Wenham Park. It's like 7 miles from Disneyland.
Oh.
It's very close.
That was a very far drive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
People go and wait in line for this fried chicken.
Really?
Right? And I remember having it, well, I haven't been there since I was a kid, but I remember loving the fried chicken, so I have no idea what the deal is. Why Doug didn't like it, or whether it was a bad night, or whether it's just gone downhill.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm like, do I wait in line for it now? And
I mean, you might need
they've
to.
doubled the size, or roughly doubled the size of the restaurant, so you don't really wait more than 20 or 30 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
And you can use Open Table to make reservations.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
Can you use your fast pass to get in hit a line?
no, they don't have that.
Oh, like, oh man. All right. Well, all right, folks. We have a bunch of nerd info. What is this? A bucket of new buttons all over the place.
I saw
I
it.
don't know what to do with them. Like this.
You don't touch them.
Like, ooh, what does this one do?
That's what you should do, is don't touch them.
The new equipment in front of me, and I'm going to be touching the buttons. All right. So maybe you guys have heard there's a little movie coming out next Thursday, 1 week from yesterday,
Yeah.
right? It's a little thing called Star Wars.
Yeah.
What is
I heard
it?
something about
So
it.
some little indie sci-fi movie.
Interesting. Who's in it?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know. They're all dead now. I don't know who's in that anymore. But yeah, so Rise of Skywalker hits theaters Thursday. There's been like an increase in excitement about that, because I remember when like Disney was worried that it was going to be, I mean, one of the lower premieres for Star Wars. Like literally,
For good reason. They had those worries.
that's true. The Last Jedi pretty much single-handedly ruined the franchise, nearly.
For some people.
For some people,
For
yeah. So it's just, but I mean, it definitely ruined Solo. It took that movie, and then we're like, well, is it going to carry over into the next movie? And it looked like it might, but now all of a sudden, Star Wars, like even it almost like ruined a theme park. Because like last summer when Galaxy Quest. That's a
Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge. Galaxy Quest, great movie by the way.
Yes.
Has nothing to do with Star Trek, Star Wars, or Star Trek. Based on Star Trek, but all right. Anyway, off topic. Galaxy's Edge was actually kind of a disappointment in the amount of traffic and everything
Yeah.
to that. But now that's bouncing back with a, new ride.
Oh yeah.
So the new
Yeah,
ride's
the
actually,
new ride's opened in Florida
Interesting.
to rave reviews.
Oh,
Loves it. It's
Okay.
No.
I think I've seen a few previews.
Absolute
of
Geek
it.
Podcast is on.
Hey,
That's right.
nice.
Let them know. After this one, going straight over to that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So it's going to be. It's not only that popular, but the Mandalorian has kind of rekindled.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Star Wars for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean a better showing for Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah. I mean, I think. Well, one, it's a Star Wars movie. It's gonna do huge numbers regardless.
True.
I know there is a small, and I personally think it is a very small, very hardcore that are like, nope, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not watching anything else Star Wars. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm done. I hate Disney, Star Wars, whatever, blah blah blah. But I think that the majority, even if they hated The Last Jedi, just want to see how it ends.
Yeah.
And either be
It's one
pleasantly
movie.
surprised
Right.
or justified in their outrage and go,
Exactly.
I told you, it's all sucks. They ruined everything.
Right.
Yeah, so either way, I think most people are going to go see it.
Yeah.
Most of the common people, the
folk.
commoners, the common folk,
The common folk.
the average movie-going audience that's not like uber nerds,
Yeah.
they're just going to go because it's a Star Wars movie, and they don't necessarily care about canon or what space, rules of hyperspace you violated or
Right.
whatever in the movie. They just like, oh, those are awesome visual effects or
Right.
whatever.
That shit's important, folks.
And they'll go.
Rookies.
But the key to this franchise is you've got to get those hardcore fans going multiple times to make the big bucks. So
For
we'll
sure.
see.
They hit that, because Disney really's hurting if this one doesn't make $1 billion.
I know. They're barely going to cross the 10 billion mark. Oh, wait, no, they already did.
Yeah, that's a future story. All right, but part of the thing to pushing this now is they've actually kind of turned on themselves. This is the first time they've done this. They're actually kind of turning on The Last Jedi in an attempt to kind of appease the haters, I guess. I don't know, because before they were always like staunch defenders of their stuff. Like they're going to badmouth their own stuff.
There is
However,
a narrative going out there that I've seen a few places of they're setting up Rian Johnson as the fall guy. If it doesn't do well, they can point to, yeah, we know he
Right.
he kind of ruined the story.
Right.
Yeah.
We did the best we could with it.
right. Because, I mean, for the longest time, J.J. Abrams was always saying, like, oh, I'm not going to change anything. He didn't screw anything up, blah, blah, blah. But in recent interviews, both J.J. Abrams and John Boyega have both kind of come out voicing their displeasure over The Last Jedi. And a lot of people think it's kind of a planned thing. I mean, J.J. was a little more measured, and he said it was wrong to tell fans that it doesn't matter. Basically referring to, the past, to raise parents, everything else. Everything that he set up that Rian Johnson crapped on.
Yeah.
And then John Boyega was saying he was disappointed in a lot of the beats, and he talked with Mark Hamill, who was vocally, before the movie even came out, vocally disappointed with The Last Jedi.
Sure.
And his, with the big problem everybody has with it is Mark Hamill's.
Well, and you don't even have in here that there's another one that was Daisy Ridley.
Oh, really?
Said she cried with relief when Abrams came back. So she was excited that he was coming back.
Nice. Absolute Geek says a stain in the underwear of Star Wars is still a stain. Hate on The Last Jedi publicly and try and draw the majority. That is true. I mean, it's a fair, a fair tactic, and it looks like that's what they're doing. But is that the right call?
It doesn't bother me one way or the other. I think I think from the cast perspective especially, they're probably saying what they really thought.
Yeah.
All.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're finally got the go ahead and let things out.
Right.
Or they're following Abrams' lead and going, oh, well, he's allowed to say
he
it,
said
so
it.
I'm going to say it too.
Right.
Abrams might be a little more. I mean, I think he was towing the studio line before, and now he's kind of loosening the reins and going, yeah, there were a few things I didn't like about it.
Right.
You know,
But is it a?
but he's still being pretty diplomatic.
He is being pretty. This is very measured. In fact, it was kind of like a tack-on statement at the end of him defending not having to make a whole lot of changes. But yeah, is this a ploy by the studio, or is it just the actors just going? Do you think it's just the actors?
I don't think the actors. I don't think it's from
J.J. Abrams are like, oh, I'm done. I finished my Star Wars.
Right.
I can say
from
what I want
Abrams'
now.
perspective, I bet it's always at least somewhat orchestrated.
Yeah.
So I think you could pretty safely say, he's probably. What's that?
It said they actually think the popularity of The Mandalorian might hurt The Rise of Skywalker. Maybe, because I mean, you can compare and contrast. This is good Star Wars.
So much, and you come into it, and you aren't sure how you're going to feel about the Star Wars. Then
right.
You're like, it's still not as good as The Mandalorian.
I guess the question: do you mean that it will hurt repeat views? Because I think it will pull more people into the theater initially.
Sure.
Now it may have not as many people going back for seconds.
Right. The movie still has to be good.
But no, I think overall, personal opinion, The Mandalorian will help The Rise of Skywalker by getting butts in seats in the first place.
Sure.
That wouldn't have gone initially. And then I don't think the comparison of, this TV show is better than this movie, I'm not going to go see it again. That was probably going to be their response, whether they had seen The Mandalorian or not.
Right.
They'd go to the movie and go, this movie's, it was passable.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't good, I'm not going to see it again. Nobody's going to go, this Disney Plus show is better, I'm not going to go see this good movie again.
Sure.
Yeah, but it has to be good.
If it's a good movie.
It has to be a good movie. I mean, bottom line, it has to be a good movie.
I feel like a lot of people understand that The Mandalorian isn't part of what's going on with the Star Wars. So I don't know if it'll bring people in because it's not what they've been watching. I mean, the only thing, Mandalorian has been good, so it gives me faith in that maybe they're going to take the right direction with this. And the last trailer that they dropped, not this final one, but the one before that, of Star Wars, I feel like did it justice to where it made me feel excited about the series again.
Yeah.
So maybe, or the movies. Anyway, I feel better about it because of the trailer and because Mandalorian is doing
so
well.
unprofessional.
But I don't know if
I know.
made the final push. I was going to see it anyway, but now I feel better about seeing it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I already have two showings planned.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
Bought, I should say.
Sure.
Yeah, because my nephew's birthday is next week, and we always take him to Star Wars movie for his birthday.
Gotcha.
And we're going to go see it Thursday, right?
And we're seeing it Thursday.
So if it totally sucks, you got to sit through it again.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, man.
I don't think it'll suck that bad.
All right.
So he says, the movie sucks. Popularity of The Mandalorian will show fans that they have had people in the wings that could have saved the franchise the entire time and just didn't do anything to try. And to fix it, more of you fans are sheep and you go no matter what.
True. Fair enough.
Wait, what?
However, that could be the I think one way or the other, Mandalorian gives us hope for the future of Star Wars, right? I'm trusting, they went back, they got J.J. Abrams, he did a passable Star Wars, it was decent, brought us back, the nostalgia buttons.
Yeah.
We know he's a fan.
I also still do disagree with the idea that Star Wars is in trouble.
Yeah.
One Star Wars movie was
It'll still
bad.
do good. Yeah.
Everything else from Disney has been decent to good.
Sure.
Yeah.
This has been only one bad movie.
Because Solo was a decent movie.
Yeah,
it was one
Disney,
that we didn't want, but it was
a decent movie. Rebels was good. I didn't watch the Resistance cartoon because it was not directed at me.
Yeah.
But overall, Disney Star Wars has been fine. There's been some hiccups. There's been the biggest part the biggest thing they have done wrong is how they turned on the fans after The Last Jedi.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Other than that, they have not done that bad a job with Star Wars. So I don't know. I disagree with the idea that Star Wars is in the trash heap, and sheep are just keeping Disney afloat with it.
Well, we'll see after this movie.
Yeah, we will.
I guess My point is that I think regardless of what does with this movie, I think people that are doing The Mandalorian should be in charge of future Star Wars projects.
One would hope.
I would, yeah. I mean,
but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. All right. So there did drop a final trailer that had a kind of a major spoiler, I guess, or it could be misdirection or what.
You can't call it a spoiler if it's part of the marketing.
I guess true.
I disagree.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, they've spoiled stuff before.
Yeah, they've ruined movies before.
So if you don't want to know anything about this,
I believe this was a response to the fact that there are so many leaks out there that, I mean, people are claiming that the entire script is out there.
Oh, really?
That you the entire plot has been revealed, and.
Why would you look something like that up?
Why would you do that? I don't get that sentiment, but okay.
Yeah.
But the Star Wars leak rumor community is huge on Reddit. Sure. It's a big deal on Reddit. Okay. So I believe this may have been in response to that. It's just like, hey, let's just get this out there, and kind of confirm that, the Emperor is a big deal, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. I thought it was awesome. Yeah. The visuals in it were great. I don't mind despite what Abrams says, this was obviously not the plan from the beginning, but I don't mind the way they have shoehorned it into, because a lot of people, this was an initial guess is, hey, what if it was just the Emperor the whole time? He did everything. It was. And they're leaning into it, going, "Yep, it was him the whole time."
It was the Emperor.
Yeah, so
seems a little fishy, but
right. Or he could be just manipulating Kylo at that moment.
Right.
Boy, he said he quit a job to see Phantom Menace. I can relate to this because we went and saw Phantom Menace. We bought
five or six
show tickets for Phantom Menace.
One after the other, after the other, after the other.
And we went into 3 different movies before we finally came out. And we're like, okay.
This isn't good. Let's go home and go to sleep.
Oh my god!
We came out of that first one going, that was good.
That was a show.
Well, because you go into it and you're like, oh, this is but it finishes with that awesome lightsaber duel, and blah, 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 and you're like, all right, let's go see it again.
It's a roller coaster of emotions, right? It ends in that awesome lightsaber fight, and you're like, what did I just watch? Was that good? I don't know. And then you go back in for the second viewing. We come out of the second viewing, and then you start picking apart all the midichlorians. What the? Is it me or is that Jar Jar thing pretty annoying? And then by the third one, you're like, okay, I don't want to see that movie again. And I walked out. But that movie has kind of grown on me, or those prequels have grown on me. Maybe not that movie, but the second and third one, bad dialogue aside. Do you see the stuff Burger King's doing overseas? I have not seen that. I don't know what you're talking about.
They're making people read Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker spoilers in order to get
a free Whopper.
Oh my god!
Nice.
What?
Nice.
Okay, that's
good play, Burger King. Read this spoiler. You want a free Whopper? Okay. So with all this speculation, let's go speculate a little bit here. Will Anakin be in this movie? And if so, will it be Hayden Christensen playing Anakin? Which they'd have to if they brought Anakin into it.
I don't think so.
You don't think he's going to be in it at all? Because when they first teased the Emperor for the first time at the Star Wars celebration, Hayden
Christensen was
there. They brought Hayden Christensen out on stage with Aaron McDermott, who plays the Emperor.
It was, at that point, it was a Star Wars celebration.
Sure.
So there were just people there.
Sure.
A lot of people who weren't in any of the current movies.
Okay.
Or were in very minor roles or whatever. At that point, you also didn't know that Ian McDiarmid was coming back as the Emperor.
Sure.
Right.
But they've been together on a lot of, tours of, and appearances at conventions and stuff like that. Now, that being said, do you want the spoiler version of this?
The spoiler version of Hayden Christensen?
Oh, the quote unquote the leaked version of this.
Okay.
No,
I don't know that any of those leaks are actually accurate.
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't want to give credence to any of that stuff. But I'm saying, what do you feel? Do you feel like Hayden Christensen will be back reprising his role?
He should.
Because it's the rise of Skywalker, and pretty much that story's been about Anakin Skywalker from day one, right?
Well, not from day one, but it was retroactively made to be
from day one. Yeah,
so,
true. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him in it. I think he should be a Force ghost, and even if he's just to show up and say, like, come back to the light or something, Ben.
Do it, put him in there. Yeah, I agree. I think Hayden Christensen. I think if they're gonna bring back Palpatine, they should. If they're gonna close out the Skywalker saga, he should be in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary, to be honest.
I
think it would be fun to see him, but as the story has been, I don't think it's necessary to have him in there. So I wonder if they would take the time to add him in there, right?
It's nice. The way they have done this last trilogy, it is not necessary because despite the fact that it's supposed to be closing out the Skywalker saga, it really hasn't.
No, not at all.
I mean, yes, Ben is technically related to the Skywalker line,
right.
but when you take it as this is Act 3 of a 3-act three trilogy act or story, he should be there, but I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. All right, but more importantly, whether or not Hayden Christensen is there, is Luke's green lightsaber in R2? That's the big question. Because we haven't seen his green lightsaber in R2 has been the storage for it before. I think it's going to pop out. He's going to make an appearance. The green lightsaber. And then he's going to, someone else toss it aside. Luke's dead. You can't toss it aside.
I feel like you're banking on hoping that they're going to be throwing in fun things for the fans, and they just haven't up to this point.
Rian Johnson hasn't.
Rian Johnson did.
J.J. Abrams is all about nostalgia.
That's true.
Well, here's the thing: is the only way, in my mind, the only way it shows up is if, in fact, you do a Kylo Ren redemption and he gets it.
Kylo Ren gets the green saber.
Yeah. I think they're going to.
I don't think it goes to Rey.
No, he's already got the blue saber.
Yeah, so you would have to have a Kylo Ren redemption. He gets rid of his red saber somehow, or loses his red saber.
Finds it,
and
or it's bestowed to
R2
him.
shoots him the green one. I don't see it happening, but that's the only way I think it should.
No redemption for Ben.
I don't think he should, but
I'm like, all right.
But I have a feeling it's going to happen.
I do too.
I also think he dies by the end of the movie too. Yeah, he redeems himself.
He's doing a force trick and then have a heart attack.
By essentially pulling a Darth Vader and sacrificing himself to save Rey.
Sure.
He's going to pick up the Emperor and chuck him down another hole.
Maybe.
Sure. While he's getting shot.
I mean, I suppose if we were being really cynical.
No! Rey's getting shot. That's how it's going to happen, folks.
That
might be worth it to see that. Just to I would recommend a movie if that happened. I'd be like, you have to see this shit. If he did this. That happened in the movie.
You won't believe it.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Well, Star Wars, folks. You never know what the hell we're going to get. But at least, if all else fails, we'll have another episode of Mandalorian after that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I look forward to.
Oh, yeah. You got another one.
Yipper's a splunker in his free time. Yes. Clearly. Clearly he had his safety ropes on in the Death Star. That's how.
Yeah.
I heard rumor that they were saying the Death Star wreckage is not on Endor. It's a different place. How the hell did that happen?
Well, it's not on the forest moon of Endor. Endor is the gas giant. It could be on another moon of Endor that's an ocean planet.
But it was in orbit around the one moon, so it just got shot so far off. The big chunk of it got shot so far off that it landed on another moon?
Sure. Well, that is not very unlikely with that kind of space physics that you have in Star Wars. Where,
The Emperor, that's his kink. He likes being picked up and thrown down holes. I can see that. I totally that. But if it's not on Endor, that's going to take a little... All right, I know it's J.J. Abrams has a problem with space the size of space.
Star Wars in general does. The asteroid fields like the one in Empire Strikes Back don't exist in real life.
Don't badmouth.
But
say what you want about Rian Johnson, but don't say anything about Empire Strikes Back.
Don't touch him.
What the hell?
the fact of the matter is, as long as it was the explosion sent it out of orbit, it could have gone anywhere.
Sure.
Yeah. I suppose. I don't think it makes much sense not to land on the closest body it's near, because it wasn't like it was like you saw it blow up. I don't know. We'll see.
That any pieces were that big is what's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
we saw the chunk out of the ocean up there. To assume that was indoor, but all right. Anyways, whatever.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right. All right. It's enough about Star Wars. I'm starting to get upset. Calm down. All right.
Oh, God.
Let's talk about some other cool stuff. Did other cool stuff happen this week? We got a ton of trailers this week.
Yeah.
Want to talk about some of the trailers?
Sure. Watched them all.
Watched them all. All right. So, Wonder Woman 1984. This movie, I have. Did you see the? Oh, she does it.
I don't want spoilers for it because I love Wonder Woman so much that I want to go into this completely blind.
I think my problem was I heard so many.
There was so much that was going around that you're like, what? Why?
That made it sound like I'm like, really? Are they going to screw this up? How are they going to screw this up? Well, the trailer actually looked really good.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm even back on board with Chris Pine. Yeah, Trevor Scott with Steve Trevor. I'm even up with Steve Trevor being back because it isn't like we heard totally divorced from the first movie. The first movie happened. She has the watch she gave him, all of that stuff.
Sure.
Right.
And the trailer does not give you any reason or any information on how he comes back.
Sure.
He just shows up.
Okay.
And then he's out of time. He hasn't been around. So they do the juxtaposition where she's explaining things to him.
Right.
Like,
okay.
This is all art.
He's the fish out of water now.
Right.
So he's staring at a trash can, and she's like, that's just a trash can.
The trailer got me really stoked. Yeah, it's true. And it
looks good.
The thing with me is I was worried about the cheetah, right? First off, it was Kristen Wiig, so I'm like, oh, they're not going with a funny cheetah, but I know she can do dramatic. But then the first promo images of her were, like, big question was, is she going to actually turn into the cheetah, or is she going to be like some kind of cheesy, just leopard print wearing 80s bad guy? Mm-hmm. And then the first image was her wearing leopard print pants and jacket. And you're like, oh my God, please tell me that's not going to be the cheetah. But I think she's going to transform later on because she starts off in the trailers as Diana's friend.
Yeah.
So, I was worried about it. I saw the trailer and now I'm like, okay, I'm okay with it.
Especially when I saw that it was not just Patty Jenkins, but Jeff Johns did the story.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm
down
with it.
Who's in on that?
So my only problem with it is in the trailer she was actually like roping lightning.
Yeah.
She was riding lightning and Metallica wasn't playing. So I'm like, if I'm gonna ride lightning, Metallica needs to be in the soundtrack. That's all I'm saying. All right, so the next one, this is also one that I was not excited for until I saw the trailer. Mm-hmm. And the trailer looked totally different than what I expected.
Yeah, me too.
It was Ghostbusters. Yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Like, none of the originals show up in the trailer at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Except in a TV commercial.
Interesting.
It's, Wolf.
It's Finn Wolfhard.
Finn Wolfhard.
Not Finn Wolfsoft. It's freaking Finn Wolfhard. That's who's in this.
So, yeah.
Finn Wolfhard.
Paul Rudd. Mm. And, yeah, you as the trailer goes on, you find out that, like, the kids in the trailer are Venkman's grandkids.
So Spanglers.
Spanglers, yeah. Spanglers.
It's not Egon's
grandkids. Yeah. So that's, so we're like 20 years in the, we're modern time.
It's what the first reboot or what it should have been last movie with the girls should have been.
Sure.
Them, the next generation of Ghostbusters or whatever. Like Ghostbusters happened.
Yeah.
But it was kind of localized, so people don't realize it was.
Yeah, because this is out in like the middle of Iowa or someplace like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks good.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty excited about it. I had not, I like Ghostbusters, but I'm like, oh no, another reboot or another.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We expected it to be in the. We expected it to do all the, like what the reboot tried to do, like all the nostalgia pieces.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, they're in New York. They're doing all this, rehashing the other first movies. But no, it's not. It's like totally different, and it's like the next generation, and it looks good. So I'm definitely. Plus, it's Paul Rudd, so I kind of anything Paul Rudd's in,
feel obligated.
Yeah. All right. Next trailer we got was Mulan, another live-action Disney movie.
Yeah.
I was not excited about this movie at all.
I've not actually seen all of Mulan all the way through. I know I've seen most of it.
Really?
Just in bits and pieces, though, because, I had nieces and nephews who like, oh, I watched from this point to this point. Oh, I've watched from this point to this point. But I've not watched it straight through.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have no investment in it.
Oh, sure.
Like, oh, yeah, like Beauty and the Beast or The Lion King or something. Those were my Disney movies, that, oh, yeah, I love those. I don't want them to mess those up. I could care less about Mulan, but the trailer was awesome. It looked good.
Yeah.
It looked like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, The Red Cliffs, or one of those kind of, Chinese movie made for Western kind of a Western audience, but with that kind of feel to it. It felt like that. Okay. So I was like, oh, cool, I'm in.
But this is one of the first ones that Disney's doing that's not like with made up characters or whatever. It's actually kind of historically.
No, it is a Chinese legend.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It looks good. Before I could care less about it. Now I'm like, watch the trailer. I'm like, okay, I'll see that. All right. Last trailer to talk about came out this week. No Time to Die, the next James Bond. This is Daniel Craig's last James Bond movie. What do we think?
I think I saw bits and pieces of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did. Something about this time of the year makes it feel like James Bondy. I don't know if this is like when they normally put it out, but it feels like the right time for a new James Bond to come out. So I'm kind of excited about it.
This felt
always been a James Bond fan. That's me too.
This felt like a more classic Bond.
Yes.
Yeah.
It felt like, all right, it had all the action set pieces. Yeah. He's not, he's brooding, but not the same way.
Yeah.
It's not this deep mystery about, like, is this somebody we know? Is it not somebody we know?
Yeah.
And I got to say, I love because we talked about this before, that they were like, the new James Bond is this black lady whose a name escapes me right now. After they had talked about Idris Elba and just, transition. Right. But now they did exactly what I was like, oh, if they do this, I'm fine with it.
Right.
Is basically the new person that they're tapping for the James Bond movies is just another 007 or another 00 agent who's all like, you've been out of the game for a while. Yeah, I've been a 00 for 2 years or whatever, and I get in my way, and I'm going to mess you up and stuff. And you're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, let's see this.
Go for it. And the action scenes they showed with her were pretty badass.
See,
blowing crap up.
I would have liked it if the new James Bond or the new 00 was Moneypenny.
Yeah, that could
because Moneypenny was in this version was not she was 00, but she was an agent.
Yeah, I just don't think the actress who's playing her is necessarily as bankable as this new one. I gotta look up her name because I can't remember.
It's true, but I don't know. I'm excited. James Bond, I'm there. No matter what, even ones that look kind of dumb, I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this. All right, you got it.
No, I'm not gonna find it in time. Well, we'll look it up for next time.
Right.
Google Foos failed him. All right, so those are the trailers. A ton of them dropped right in a row.
All of them. I'm excited for. I actually, even while I was going through all this, I watched the new trailer for the Jumanji movie. And Melissa and I watched we watched the new Jumanji with the first one with The Rock.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God, awesome. It was so funny.
I have no idea if the second one's going to live up to that, but it was awesome.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
It's The Rock. It's Rock and,
Chris Hart.
Yeah.
And, man, they were such a good
Jack
pairing.
Black.
Jack Black was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
I'm going to watch it, so...
Yeah, I loved it, so I'm pretty excited about this new one.
But speaking of a lot of movies dropping all at once, it looks like 2022 is going to be a big year for DC. When they've kind of after the whole Justice League falling out, they kind of found their footing again a little bit. They're like, oh, we're not going to have a connected universe.
Right. Yeah.
But then again, we got Shazam, which was a good movie. Aquaman was a good movie. So now, well, obviously Wonder Woman was a good movie. But I don't know what, everything else is kind of like, But they've kind of announced a bunch of stuff. We'll see if these actually come out because they're also big about announcing stuff and not, especially like The Flash, who's had 6 directors drop out.
Right, yeah. It'll be interesting.
But we're going to start off with Black Adam, which is technically not come out in 2022, but it comes out in December 22nd of 2021.
Close enough.
But it's kicking off the next movie after that, which is Shazam 2.
Shazam 2 comes out 4 months later, you got to figure they are going to play right into each other.
Right.
Because Black Adam is Shazam's one of his big enemies.
Yeah. He's the guy that got the power before Shazam, so he's...
Gotcha.
Now, the curious thing is the worm, whose name I forget.
Oh, yeah. The caterpillar.
The caterpillar and Dr. Sivana, are they going to play a role
in Shazam?
In
Black
Adam and or Shazam? Do you get the Black Adam who's more the anti-hero? Do you get him as strictly a villain? How are they going to play that?
Right.
It'll be interesting to see how that.
What's funny is going to see The Rock playing Black Adam, who's super muscular,
right,
opposite of Shazam, who's wearing total rubber muscles.
Right.
Which the rubber-looking muscles were fine for the movie because he's a little kid.
How he imagines
a superhero looks like. But when you put the two side by side with real muscles, the faux muscles against the real muscles, I'm like, I don't know.
It'll be pretty funny.
Yeah, we'll see how that works. And totally different movies because Shazam is more of a comedy, and Black Adam is not. It's gonna be a darker movie.
Yeah.
So December 22nd, Black Adam. April 1st, Shazam. See here.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Black Adam he's hard to quantify. I mean, he's ruthless, but not to his enemies.
Yeah.
Which is generally seen as a bad guy trait.
Right.
But you could just
they'll probably play. You're right. They'll probably play more the anti-hero than bad guy. But all right, so that's December. April, July 1st they announced the Flash. So they're actually going forward with the Ezra Miller Flash.
Okay.
For the July 1st, 2022. Which again, this movie has had 6 directors drop out. It's been rewritten. It was going to be Flashpoint. Now we don't know if it's going to be. Now they're pulling away from the whole interconnected movies.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not sure what to expect about Flash, but they have announced it now. And then Aquaman 2 comes out December of that year, December of 2022. So that's 4 DC movies, within a year. So.
Oh, okay, cool. They're putting themselves up against Avatar, not Star Wars.
Yeah. In December, yeah. Which is a safe bet. I would not.
Because Star Wars, if they go forward in the new trilogy, it'll be on odd years, and Avatar will be on even years. So.
Got it. But that same year, they going up against 3 Marvel movies. But the thing is, we don't know what they are. We know Black Panther 2 will be in May, but then there's going to be another movie in July and then one in October.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what they are.
As the landscape is currently,
Batman comes out
next
the year before. Yeah, next year.
Or is it 20 or 21?
21. 21, the year before this. This is all 2022. But yeah.
If you go by the current environment, superhero movies, I don't think hurt each other. Having Shazam 2 in April and the next month, Black Panther 2, they'll both do phenomenal.
Oh yeah, there's 2 totally different kinds of movies.
They're just not going to they're not going to affect each other. They'll be complementary, if anything. I think you could have a superhero movie every month. And
the only month they're doubling up is July. It's Flash against Marvel.
Okay. Well, then, that might hurt the Flash because he's only been seen once, but he's only been seen once in a movie that didn't do very well. Yeah. I mean, I guess twice in two movies that didn't do very well. Against, it could be a Marvel movie that has no back to it, no background to it, or it could be Guardians 3.
Sure.
Right, yeah.
And
Guardians
then
3.
You're like, oh, well, holy cow.
Or Spider-Man 3, yeah, exactly.
Something like that, and you're like, oh.
Or Captain Marvel 2. Any one of those will bury the Flash.
Which would be unfortunate because it's the weakest one of this lineup that needs so I'm kind of surprised they did that.
I think they'll push it if it's once they realize what it is.
Captain Marvel 2 or Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
There are a few things that if you run up against, you're gonna be like.
The Flash's problem is that one, he debuted in a crappy movie. Two, there's already in populace of popular Flash on TV.
Yeah. One would hope that would help the movie.
Yeah.
I think that it'll help because people know the Flash.
And Ezra Miller's good, so
popular name.
He was surprisingly good from what I thought he was going to be.
Right. So. All right. Let's move the discussion on to something a little odd. We're going to actually Guardians 3. The big discussion right now. So we know that Marvel TV is gone. It's now been folded over completely into Marvel Studios. Kevin Feige is now in charge of everything Marvel. He's got the last say on everything Marvel. And he had some words recently. Now, they could mean one thing, they could mean another, but a lot of people are speculating people are basically, I don't know if you've seen this out there, but people are saying that Coulson's dead. That Coulson never came back because what Kevin Feige said was that Disney Plus series will be the first time any TV shows will officially tie into the MCU canon.
Sure.
So this means that the Netflix shows, and he specifically said Netflix shows Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Punisher are not part of the MCU despite having parts that referenced them, right? Okay. What was not said directly was whether Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which directly was influenced by that, right? The stuff that happened in Captain America were directly affected S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury was in both, right? Coulson was in the movies and that. And then even Lady Sif, I think, was in there. So what they're saying is they're basically wiping the slate clean because they didn't have any control over that stuff, saying that old TV is not canon. Anything going forward now will be canon, kind of like they did with Star Wars and extended universe stuff. Which means, but the thing is, people are kind of saying that because he said this. He didn't say specifically Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was no longer canon, although he kind of inferred it.
Sure.
He mentioned the Netflix shows, and then he said going forward, Disney Plus shows will be the first time anything will be officially canon.
Right.
If that's the case, Coulson never came back.
Possibly, yeah, I guess. Now, that's weird because that is if you want to go strictly by what has happened, that is a blatantly false statement. Because the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. definitely tied into the Marvel canon because they had
the first
people
3
from
seasons,
them.
Yeah.
They directly, the impact of Civil War or Captain America, Winter Soldier changed them. Directly impacted them. Now, it never went the other way.
Yeah.
The show never impacted the canon, the movie canon.
Yep.
So maybe that's what he's referring to. It's the first time that any of the shows will directly feed into the canon and affect what's going on in the movies.
Right.
That's all.
We put the two together when he said that the Disney Plus series will be the first time any TV shows will officially tie into the MCU canon, and then he says that the Netflix shows didn't happen basically in the MCU.
Yeah, that is
that
weird.
Kind of suggests that no Marvel TV did have.
Well, that's odd because I'm pretty sure Iron Man references Daredevil when talking to Peter, doesn't he?
No.
About there being other.
They say there's other heroes, but there's none. They didn't say. They never mention these guys. They're the redheaded stepchild of the MCU. They never get. But the great thing about that is they're looking to cast some of these people in the same roles, right? They want Bernthal back as Punisher. They want, Cox back as Daredevil, and then Kingpin definitely they should have back. Yeah, they have an entire episode at least right after the start of Age of Ultron. You're absolutely right. I mean, and the fact that they reference the the dismantling of Shield and Hydra. There was several, especially the first 3 seasons tied directly into the MCU. But, like you said, none of the movies ever referenced anything that happened in S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D. referenced the movies. Right. So, that is the big debate, whether or not, because he hasn't come out and said officially, but it sounds like. What are we thinking?
I think that even though it may not be considered that he has come back, I think that worst case they just bring it up in another way. Like they may not. It might be. I can't words right now. It may not be. They may have retconned that, but I think that they will bring it back in the new shows that they're bringing. Like they'll bring him back and like show something that's like, oh, actually he is back.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the fact. I mean, I don't mind the Netflix series not being part of it, even though I love them, right? Because especially if they get some of the actors back, right, and put them in the MCU properly. But S.H.I.E.L.D. for me always felt like it should. I mean, it was part of the part of the MCU.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about it, Doug?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a waste. I think contractually they probably can't directly reference the Netflix shows, at least yet.
Right.
Those characters.
Well, they're not using those. They basically came out and said they're not part of the MCU.
Yeah.
If they redo them with the same characters,
right?
Sure.
Then that's fine. But
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was always under their control, so it doesn't. It seems like there's no reason.
Yeah. Or maybe every time they mention Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Perlmutter gets $1 and he doesn't want them. They hate each other so bad. He's
maybe.
Like, I'll burn it all down before I give him another dime.
That's funny.
I can get behind that. I can understand that kind of rage. that kind of
well, especially
spite
with Perlmutter.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
all
I
right.
can't find his exact quote, so I was kind of curious about exactly what he said.
Well, it was pretty much that. It was the quote was the line that the Disney Plus series will be the first time any TV shows will officially tie in with the MCU canon. That's pretty much that part of it is part of the quote. Okay. He didn't say Disney Plus series, but he was talking about the new shows. Is basically what you said it. So that's the word he used. First time that they'll officially tie in.
Alrighty.
Yes, I agree. Netflix stuff doesn't make sense, but yeah, the S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff is a bull-faced lie. Well, yeah, it's a bull-faced lie that it didn't connect with it. Yeah. But it's kind of like what they're doing with Sony, right? Because Sony, the deal they have with Sony is that Sony can reference stuff that happens in Marvel movies, but Marvel doesn't have to reference anything that happens in Sony.
Right, yeah.
So it's like they have a shared character.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so Sony can pretend like their movies are happening in the MCU, but MCU doesn't have to acknowledge it in their movies.
Right.
So, it's like one of those weird things.
All right. Well, we shall see what effect this has.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, basically this all comes down from the whole butting heads between Perlmutter and Feige, and that's why they had a whole television division and a studio division. And now it's all one.
Right.
Perlmutter's out of the picture, and they did some good stuff, but then they also gave us, like Inhumans. So, I mean, all right. One, I'm glad it's all under Feige now, and I hope they do bring back the Netflix heroes.
Yeah.
But I really hate to see them cast S.H.I.E.L.D. aside like that. But that's just me.
Yeah.
All right, folks. That does it for our normal stories. Now on to our smaller stories, our Nerd Nuggets.
Nerd Nuggets.
Doug's favorite section. All right. So we want to kick that off with our first small story. Kirsten,
Kevin Feige has said that Black Widow will change the way we see Infinity War and Endgame.
So you're saying that the Black Widow movie is not just a cool one-off.
It's going to make you cry even more.
It's going to make you cry.
With her loss.
It's going to, but I mean, it could go fundamentally.
I think.
Change basically how you look at those two movies, right?
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of rumors out there going on how this is going to affect like Black Widow going forward, whether actually she's, is a one and done or whether something else could happen. Yeah, we don't know, but apparently it's going to be a more important movie than we initially thought.
Well, there was a lot of not a lot, but a lot of people that I know of were talking about how it was a shame that she didn't get like her own sort of scene or farewell or anything. So I think that maybe they'll play up the fact that she was such an important role and valuable to the team to the point that we should mourn her loss more than we did.
I agree. I also agree with the Absolute Geek podcast when they said they want more Agent Carter. Mm. Yeah. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
All right, Doug.
Yeah, give me the Mr. All right. Reno 911's Thomas Lennon will take on the role of, and I think I know how to pronounce this, Mr. Mxyzptlk in Supergirl.
Mr. Mxyzptlk. He's an awesome character.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Thomas Lennon, I mean.
Well, and he's a really strange character. You know who the character is from the cartoons or anything like that? He's from the 10th dimension or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
He essentially has unlimited ability to alter reality. Okay. And he's just a prankster.
Yeah,
okay.
And you have to convince him to say his name backwards to banish him. But he is otherwise... Sure. He can't be hurt. He can't be, stopped.
Completely invincible.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because usually when he shows up, he's an annoyance to whatever's going on with Superman at the time.
Sure.
Until Superman can trick him into saying his name backwards.
Sure.
So it's kind of like a comedic.
Mostly harmless, but sometimes what he does ends up having, domino effect that's bad. So.
Yeah. In fact, they're actually going to use the character in Supergirl. And Thomas Lennon playing him is pretty awesome. So. Yeah. All right. As we said earlier, if Star Wars flops, I don't know what Disney's going to do because they've only made well this week they're expected to cross the $10 billion mark at the box. I don't think they did today.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
Or they estimated they do it. Okay. Yeah. They hit the $10 billion mark at the box office.
First time it's been done ever.
First time. The last record was $7.6 billion set back in 2006.
Sure.
But they broke it, and of course that was also Disney.
Sure.
They had the record too.
I mean, is there anyone else you would expect?
I don't think anyone else can. There's not a studio that could possibly do that.
No.
So they have $6 billion movies this year. Once Frozen 2 crosses $1 billion this week. So once Frozen,
which again, it may have already done.
It may have already done. Yeah. Frozen 2 may have already crossed the $1 billion. If it has, they've hit six. They had 6 movies. Over $1 billion.
It's very likely they will have 7.
And it's very likely that Star Wars will hit that.
It is unlikely that Star Wars will not hit $1 billion.
Do less than $1 million.
Yeah. And if you add the Fox projects in, which they own now and have full profits on, they've already hit $11.9 billion.
Now there is a downside to this as far as that goes. They will not come close to that next year.
Oh, for sure.
Their like-for-like growth is going to be shit.
Yeah, they will. They're
speaking to their investors. Please just stay on.
Yeah, it's like, all right, look, our like-for-like growth is going to be in a tank next year, but look what we did this year.
Yeah,
$11.9 billion in a year.
That's insane.
I mean, the thing is, there's nothing close. There's no other studio even near their old record, 7.6.
Yeah,
not even half. Yeah.
And I mean,
all hail our mouse overlord.
Right.
Now, to be perfectly honest, they deserve it. Yeah. The stuff that's come out,
they've been doing well.
I mean, it wasn't like
money. They've,
Yeah.
It wasn't. It wasn't like they were, surfing off of the, like the Titanic or something like that.
Yeah. Which now they own. So I'm going to point that out. Wow, Disney.
Jeez.
Disney can afford, just like other studios are like, okay, we have to have our franchise do well. one franchise or whatever that we have going on at the time
Yeah.
has to perform well.
We need our 5 franchises to do well.
Yeah, Disney's all like, oh, one of them failed. All right, well, here's some more money on that one there. Take care of that. All right. Yeah, Disney. I don't know if you guys have seen the Harley Quinn animated series on Disney.
Just the
DC
previews.
Universe?
I haven't watched it.
I gotta tell you, you would love this. It is the best thing on DC Universe.
Okay.
Now,
That's a big statement.
I love Doom Patrol. I love Swamp Thing.
Uh-huh.
Harley Quinn animated series is the best thing by far, hands down. One of the best things I've seen on TV. If it wasn't for The Mandalorian, I would say it's the best thing on TV right now.
Right.
But it is hilarious. It is, I mean, it's a comedy.
Yeah.
Total comedy, but it's like totally, basically it's from, the bad guy's perspective of Gotham, right? Okay. And they've got some major voice talent on it, and it's just, I don't know. It's my favorite thing right now, so I just had to point that out. I'm thinking about doing a review of it once it gets a few more episodes in. It's only on episode 3 right now. So it goes out once a week. But, yeah. I mean, after Titans let me down this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think what you're telling me is that I need your login for...
Yeah, well, we'll have to hook that up, because that's... I don't know. I want to go off a Titans rant, but I'm saying Titans, like, every year, you're like... Last 2 seasons.
Maybe it'll get better.
I'm like, oh, it's got so much potential, and you'll have like 2 or 3 good episodes, and then at the end, the finale just totally wrecks it, and you're like, oh, why do I let Bane pay for this? All right, so.
Listen, I need you to say that statement or that question.
This question: why do we have to wait till May for Baby Yoda merch?
Yes.
Why? This is my rant. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, if you're trying to tell me that Disney didn't know Baby Yoda was going to be popular or that merch,
you're
they do. That's what they do is merch, right?
Yeah. I don't know who dropped the ball on this one. But
I'm like, what is the Galaxy's Edge? They sold out of merch. That was their biggest problem.
Yeah.
They may not have had enough people there, but they sold out of merch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what they do. They do merch. Why is there no Baby Yoda? Why don't we have a Baby Yoda till... I mean, and May? Like, can't they buy some, child factories to, start pumping out Baby Yoda toys right now?
It wouldn't be difficult. They could literally make shirts with Baby Yoda and just, some... even cartoon, sort of drawing.
I know.
Baby Yoda. People would buy it.
Something. Some Baby Yoda sticker book.
Yeah.
Something. I don't understand why.
I can't.
Why did I buy this? Because Baby Yoda.
Why do I have to wait till May for Baby Yoda fix? I don't understand that.
I can't believe this was a strategy to wait. It couldn't possibly be.
Do you think it's a strategy or just that they didn't plan for it and now they're
It has to be they didn't plan for it, but the fact that they didn't plan for it just baffles me.
Yeah,
I don't understand how
confidence.
Did they not have somebody look at Baby Yoda on set?
Here's the other.
Did they not?
Yeah, it won't be popular.
Now, again, if you were active in the Star Wars rumor community, you knew about Baby Yoda ahead of his actual appearance.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they kept it under wraps really well.
Yeah.
And if they had merch in the line, to come out close to, it would have ruined it.
True.
Because merchandise ruins, movie.
Yeah, toy tie-ins all the time.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I can think of. Or they just really don't have a lot of confidence in Filoni and Favreau, which doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
Or maybe they only had X amount, and then they realized how huge it is and didn't want to sell out in 2 seconds, so they're going to build up their stockpiles.
I mean, they sold out of Porgs at Galaxy's Edge.
Right.
They're not going to sell out of Baby Yodas? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, that's my rant. I want Baby Yoda merch. All right, folks. That about does it for us this week. Don't forget to tune over at Absolute Geek Podcast for the Crisis on Infinite podcast coming up here at 7:30, which will be on, so you can see us again. So all you little Grizzlers can move on over there. Thank you for listening to us. If you're listening to us on Stitcher or iTunes or any other place you get your podcasts and you want to see our lovely faces, you can do that over on YouTube at youtube.com/. Facebook.com/The Grizzled Geek.
Yes.
Correct. See, I got it right. I know it. I know our channel already.
Good job. How long have we had
it? Years. But please like, subscribe, share with your friends. But if you want to support the channel and the things that we do here, Doug, how can they support us?
Well, because Mike's lazy, you're going to have to go seek out one of our other videos. Because Mike will take forever if he ever puts up links in this one.
Hey, I get it up on Stitcher. That's the main thing.
But there's links in our descriptions to our various videos. You can check out our Patreon, check out our Teespring store, or during the holiday season, do your shopping through our Amazon affiliate link, and we'll get a kickback. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It's a really great way to support us and do what you're going to do anyways.
Yeah, we appreciate it, guys. And if you're into gaming and other stuff, you can check out our other channel, which is a link on the front of our main page to the Grizzled War Master.
Yeah.
We're putting up some new videos over there. And we will see you soon over on the Absolute Geek Podcast. Thanks for watching, guys.